Can you see a little more clearly now? Today I'm going to be talking about 5 things that you should always have in your camera bag. If you're new to this channel, my name is John, and like many of you, I'm a photographer and video creator / creative in general. Today we're talking about the 5 things that you should probably have in your photography bag, because there are 5 things that I keep in my bag because I've run into the issues that all these 5 things fix, and now I'm thankful that I always have them on me. So as we all know, camera bags come in many different shapes and sizes, and we typically like to fill them up with as much camera gear as we can. If you're a Canon photographer like I am, I fall into that category. Or just the right camera gear that we need for the specific day or job or trip we're going on. But a lot of times we forget about a few of these things that can help us out in very tricky situations. So the first thing on the list is an object I started off the video with, and it's a lens cleaning solution and a microfiber cloth. It's a nice 2-in-1 combo. So if you're using this, if you're out shooting and your lens gets dirty, it gets muddy, it does some sort of substance on it that you can't just wipe off with water, or we've all done this, we try to wipe it off with just our t-shirt and hope for the best on the go. Now having this in your camera bag will allow you to just simply take it out when you're in a pinch, squirt it onto your lens, and clean it off the microfiber cloth, and then your camera is crisp and clean, and you're gonna get that crystal clear image that you sought out to get in the first place. So the second thing is this little contraption right here, and I'm not talking about the case that I'm holding. I'm talking about the band of elastic wonders, or a rubber band. So the reason a rubber band is on my list is when you have a polarizer or ND filter or any kind of filter that you're attaching to the end of your lens, you're most likely putting on the end of the UV filter that's already on your lens, protecting it from scratches and dirt and dust. But sometimes that extra filter you put on the end of that will get stuck or way too tight on the UV filter, and when you try to twist it off, it will take the UV filter with it. So what I found is if you have a rubber band that's just about the same diameter, a little bit less than that filter you have on top of your camera, you can put this around the edge of the filter, and it'll help just give enough tension and pressure to twist off the neutral density filter or polarizer, but keep the UV filter on your camera so you don't have to worry about exposing your lens to the environment. Third on the list is a power bank for your phone. So we already live in a day and age where we rely on our phones for almost everything, but they're super important to us as photographers or video makers because we could be using our phone for so many different reasons depending on what we're doing. Besides being able to call people, communicate, and tracking yourself if you're traveling, you could also be using it to fly a drone, to control your camera, and a bunch of other things that will just drain the battery of your phone. And if you don't have a charging case, you don't want to be screwed being stuck without having any battery life on your phone. So having a power bank with the cord, or just a separate cord that you can attach in and out, that can have up to 2 to 4 kind of battery lives of your phone on it, will help you get through the day and just have that worry about running out of juice be completely gone. Another good item to always have in your camera bag, or even on your keychain, is a multi-tool. So I actually made a video on different multi-tools that you could be looking at for your bag or potentially your keychain a few weeks ago, so feel free to check that one out. But the importance of the multi-tool, anyone that's ever been using a tripod for still shots or been using it as stabilizer can attest to the fact once the mount of the tripod to your camera gets loose in any way, there's almost no saving it if you don't have a tool to tighten it up. Doesn't matter how tight you can get it with your thumb or a key, if you don't have that proper tightness to the head, you're going to have an unstable connection between your camera and whatever you're using to mount it. Last but not least is a spare lens cap. So once upon a time, I was in Los Angeles, up by Santa Monica, trying to rush to take sunset photos of the pier and of the whole amusement park that they have on it. And I was running around, I had my lens cap in my pocket. As I was running in and out, later that night, I found that my lens cap had fallen out of my pocket, and I didn't want to have to deal with the stress of having to put my camera back into my bag and then have to travel through the airport on a plane. You know the whole deal, the constant stress of having to worry about your camera lens being scratched or damaged while it's in a bag. So I went around to a bunch of camera stores the next day trying to find a spare lens cap. I was able to find one, but whatever lens that you have in your camera bag that you're using a lot, it's good to have a spare lens cap in case you run into that situation, because the last thing you want to deal with is the worry about breaking that super expensive lens because you lost a simple $5 to $10 piece of plastic. So those 5 things are what I always keep in my camera bag, because I find that the pinches that I run into, those tend to bail me out more often than not. Now there are a bunch of other honorable mentions that are more camera specific, so they might already be in your camera bag. And those could be spare batteries, the chargers to those batteries. You could have AAA or AA batteries depending on what kind of flash you have. Business cards are a good one. Different hex tools, different tripod heads. You could even maybe have like a spare UV filter in case one cracks. There's a whole list of other things that you could have in your camera bag to help you out. I just thought of the 5 off the top of my head that I keep on me that have helped me out in the past because of issues that I've either experienced or run into. But what are the other things that you have in your bag that I didn't mention? If you leave them in the comment section, could have out someone else looking, trying to figure out what they should be thinking of. Or even these could be stocking stuffers as presents for gifts for the photographers in your family or ones that you know. But make sure to like, share, and subscribe this video. It only helps grow the channel so I can talk about more photography things going forward. And as always, let's recap.